Auburn University's Summer Commencement ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. Please rise for the graduation processional.
celebrate Auburn University's 2000 Summer 18 graduates. I'm pleased to be with you to celebrate this momentous occasion. I extend a special welcome to all of those who are receiving degrees today, the seniors and graduate students from across Auburn's colleges and schools. We're going to begin our ceremony with the presentation of the colors. Gentlemen, please remove your headdress and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the singing of our national anthem. March on the colors. Matthew Hoke, Associate Professor of Voice in the Department of Music in the College of Liberal Arts, will lead us in the singing of our national anthem. He will be accompanied by Auburn University Graduation Band, conducted by LaToya Webb, Graduate Teaching Assistant for the Department of Music. Thank you. Retire the colors. Please be seated. Commencement is the most distinguished and important ceremony we host at Auburn. It is the symbolic closing of a transformative chapter in your lives, but it's also the inspiring launch of a new chapter, one that holds great promise and endless possibilities. I'm grateful to celebrate this momentous occasion with each one of you. I will now introduce some members of the platform party. Others are going to be introduced later in the ceremony. As I call one's name, please stand. Mr. Quentin Riggins, Auburn University Board of Trustees. Dr. Bill Hargrave, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Bobby Woodard, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Jennifer Kerpelman, Interim Vice President for Research. Ms. Jane DeFalco Parker, Vice President for Development and President of the Auburn University Foundation. Mr. John Wagner, Secretary to the Board of Trustees. Dr. George Crandall, Interim University Registrar. Ms. Jamie Hammer, General Counsel. Ms. Nancy No, Interim Dean of the Libraries. Dr. Michael Baginski, University Senate Chair and Associate Professor in the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering. Dr. Jeff Jones, Graduation Marshal and Associate Professor in the Department of Accounting in the Harvard College of Business. Dr. Eric Wetzel, mace bearer, and assistant professor in the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction. Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth McDonald, Commanding Officer, Air Force, ROTC. Lieutenant Colonel Kalina Creech, Commanding Officer, Army, ROTC. Major Daniel Murphy, Commanding Officer, Naval, ROTC. Mr. Rick Smith, Graduation Reader and Lecturer in the School of Communication and Journalism. And Mr. Steve Geis, Interpreter for the Deaf, Office of Accessibility. Let's have a round of applause for this special group of leaders. Graduates, our faculty members have played a major role in preparing you for the next steps in your lives. They have mentored you, challenged you, and inspired you. Will our members of the faculty here today please rise? Everyone, please join me in applauding these tireless individuals who have devoted their time and efforts to help these graduates grow. Please be seated. As all of you know, there are a number of people who have made your time here at Auburn possible. Many are in the stands today, some are with you in spirit. These are people who have supported and encouraged you through the years. They have included parents, grandparents, siblings, other family members, mentors, and friends. All of these people have played a major role in helping you get to Auburn and helping you once you've gotten here. So graduating seniors and graduate students, I now ask you to stand. Students, think of all those who have supported you on your journey. Look to your friends and family and thank them. Please be seated. Today we're going to award 1,211 degrees, which will bring the total number of degrees awarded by Auburn University since 1856 to 322,996 degrees. I'm proud to spotlight these numbers because they bring life to the extraordinary impact our university has and will continue to have on our community, our state, our nation, and the world. This impact is made possible by students like you who have gone to engage, to influence, and to lead in your communities. Commencement provides us with an opportunity to reflect on the spirit that defines your class. You and your fellow graduates are among the university's best ambassadors. You combine knowledge with a strong desire to serve the greater good. You're committed to improving the old and discovering the new. And you know that an Auburn education is more than a means to an end. It's an invitation, it's an obligation, and a skill set to transform the world. You are now joining a distinguished group of alumni who've had a history of post-graduation success and professional advancement that is second to none. Industry-leading employers continue to seek Auburn graduates for their professionalism, their leadership, their commitment to teamwork, and for the immediate contributions they make above and beyond their job requirements. When I reflect on the enormous impact you have had here on our Auburn community, I'm extremely optimistic about the future of our institution, country, and world. Your class shares values that our society needs, a dedication to service, and an understanding of the importance of collaboration across and within our communities. Now, it's my privilege to announce our commencement speaker. And our commencement speaker is most certainly someone who shares those values with you. Today, I'm pleased to have the honor to introduce one of Auburn's finest, the President and CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, Mr. Tim Vines. Graduates, 30 years ago, Mr. Vines was sitting in the same spot you're in today, waiting to turn his tassel as a new Auburn graduate, and he's come a long way since his days on the plains. Mr. Vines' story is one of work, hard work. He began his career at Blue Cross as a management candidate, and over the past 24 years, he has risen through the ranks at Blue Cross, serving as Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, then as President and Chief Operating Officer. After a track record of extraordinary leadership, Mr. Vines was tapped to lead the company in April of this year. He has shown that if you stay true to the principles you have learned at Auburn, you will go far. Mr. Vines is active in civic and professional engagements, serving as a board member for the Alabama region of the American Red Cross, the Better Business Bureau of South and Central Alabama, and the Birmingham Business Alliance. He also serves as a region's financial board member and is chair of Samford University's Board of Trustees. He and his wife Toni live in Birmingham, where they are active members of their community. Please join me in welcoming a shining example of an Auburn man, Mr. Tim Vines.
Thank you, President Leith, and good morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege for me to be with you today. And to the faculty, administration, Board of Trustees, and to the Commencement Committee, thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to address this summer 2018 graduating class. And to the graduates, congratulations on this very special day for you. For your hard work, your dedication, your commitment, and your perseverance have paid off. You are to be commended for the sacrifice you have made, for the degree to which you will receive today. So parents, family, friends, and loved ones, and all in attendance, let us give these graduates another round of applause. Now to the parents, and the spouses, and the family members, friends, and the loved ones, for all of the support you have given these graduates, be it financial or otherwise, through their lives and through their academic journeys, you are to be commended as well. So graduates, for all the support that you have received during your academic endeavors, let us give all of those who have supported you along the process a big round of applause as well. As President Leith mentioned, 30 years ago I sat in the very seat that you're sitting in. Actually, it was in the Coliseum. That's where I sat. After graduating from Auburn with a degree in finance 30 years ago, it has been a privilege for me to represent Auburn University in my career. I grew up just 25 minutes north of here, in small town Lafayette, Alabama. So coming to Auburn was a privilege for me and an honor and an opportunity for me to represent my small town community at this big university, one of the best universities on the face of the planet. Now, I am under no illusion. I recognize that the only thing between me and your loved one receiving their degrees is the length of my presentation. And I was given some wise counsel before I came. I said, no one is here to see you, and make sure you keep your remarks very brief. And I intend to do so. So graduates, here are a few lessons that I have learned over the course of my life and my career. Number one, there's absolutely no substitute for hard work. My mom, who is 80 years old and currently suffering with Parkinson's disease, after my parents divorced, my mom worked tirelessly all of her life for her kids to have an opportunity to better themselves. She worked morning, night shifts, overtime, in factories. She did it all for her 8 kids. And the fruits of her labor was seeing 7 of her 8 kids have an opportunity to attend college. That is hard work. That is dedication. That is commitment. So here's my charge to you graduates. There are no shortcuts to success. Success requires hard work, just as you have exhibited to receive your degrees today. It requires perseverance. It requires dedication. It requires commitment. Learning is a journey and not a destination. This is just the beginning of your learning. So whatever you do, make sure you do it with excellence. Represent Auburn University in your careers with excellence. I was given the work ethic by my grandfather as well. I remember my brother and I going early in the morning with my grandfather to sweep the floors at a local car dealership. And the reward for our hard work was 25 cents, to which my brother and I would go to the local grocery store and either buy a honey bun or a big cinnamon roll. And I still resemble that remark today. So I tell my wife my sweet tooth I garnered from my grandfather taking us to do that when we were young children. Second, I will say, always conduct yourself with honesty and with integrity. Every day I leave to go to work, I represent my family. And my family's counting on me to do everything right, for the right reason, to treat people with respect, to act with integrity, to tell the truth, to be an example for others to follow, to raise up a standard of truth and righteousness. So graduates, as you go off into your careers, as you go into this next stage of your life, or for the doctorate or the master's, if you're going back to your place of employment, everything you do, do with honesty and with integrity. Don't ever compromise your values. Do the right thing for the right reason. Tell the truth. Keep your word. Because people are looking at you, what you do, and how you do it. Represent yourself, represent your family, represent your God with honesty and with integrity. Thirdly, I'll say this. Be thankful and grateful in all things. All things. My time at Auburn, I had the fortunate pleasure of being on the baseball team. And so that there are no illusions, I was a walk-on, and I was not very talented, and I recognized my role on the team. But here's the part of the story that I have rarely told. But for a gentleman, when I was just turning a teenager, Reverend Paul Howard, who was a minister in our town, but also a preacher and a teacher at our school, he took a risk on a few young boys who wanted the opportunity to play baseball in their local hometown. We had to travel a distance away to have the opportunity to play. But Reverend Howard took it upon himself and took a risk and said, I'm going to go to the city council and petition them to allow these young men to play. He stepped out. He took a chance. He risked his reputation. And but for Paul Howard doing that for me when I was a teenager, there is absolutely no chance that I would have had an opportunity to walk on and be on the Auburn baseball team. So Reverend Howard, if you're listening, wherever you are today, I don't think I have ever sufficiently told you thank you. Thank you for what you did for me so many years ago. So here's my challenge and my charge to the graduates. Acknowledge those who have helped you in your life. Give thanks daily for the blessings that you have been given. And you go and be a blessing to someone else. Don't ever take for granted the opportunities you have and those who have sacrificed to give you the opportunities that you have today. And finally, I will say this. For the greatest among you shall be your servant. For the greatest among you shall be your servant. Learn to serve. Serve others. Serve well. In life or in your chosen profession, ask what you can do to help others. Cultivate within yourself a servant's heart. Oftentimes, we are looking for others to serve us. And we miss the opportunity to be a blessing to someone else. So I challenge you today, as you go off into your careers, ask what you can do to help. Go the extra mile. Do the small things. Be great in the small things. And don't ever get too big to do the little things. Because in life, you will find out that that is so critically important. Our house, my home, goes so well because my wife is willing to serve me and my daughters. I have the privilege and the opportunity to serve alongside of 3,000 associates at Blue Cross and Blue Shield every day. We have the pleasure and the privilege to serve almost 3 million members. We never take that for granted. We never take the opportunity to serve for granted. And I would encourage you and challenge you to never take the opportunity to serve someone else for granted. So graduates, congratulations on your outstanding accomplishments. I wish you all the success that you will experience in life. Remember to work hard. Always act with honesty and with integrity. Be thankful and grateful in all things. And the greatest among you shall be your servant. Go forth, serve others, and serve with excellence. May God bless you. May God bless your family. May God continue to richly bless Auburn University. War Eagle.
Thank you, Mr. Vines, for your inspiring remarks. It is my pleasure to recognize several groups of students who are graduating with academic honors. First, I would like to recognize those undergraduates who are graduating with honors based on their cumulative grade point averages. Students with a grade point average between 3.4 and 3.59 graduate cum laude, and I ask our cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. Students with a grade point average of 3.6 to 3.79 graduate magna cum laude, and ask our magna cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. Students with a grade point average of 3.8 and above graduate summa cum laude, and I ask our summa cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. 1979 marked the beginning of the honors program at Auburn University. In 1998, that program became the Honors College. Honors College students graduate either with the distinction of University Honors Scholar or Honor Scholar. Would all those who have earned the distinction of University Honor Scholar or Honor Scholar please rise? You may be seated. Phi Kappa Phi is Auburn's highest all-discipline academic honorary, and members represent the top 10% of each college or school on campus. I now recognize those initiated into Phi Kappa Phi. Please rise. You may be seated. I would now like to recognize those degree candidates in the arts and sciences who have been inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, the nation's oldest academic honorary. Would our inductees into Phi Beta Kappa please rise and be recognized? I would also like to recognize our military service members. Would those degree candidates who are commissioned in our military services please rise? I now ask that all active duty and veteran service members, both graduates and those in the audience, please rise. Thank you for your service to our country. Would Dean George Flowers of the Graduate School please come forward?
Would Hector Hernandez Corzo please stand? On behalf of the faculty and the Graduate School, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Hector Corzo, who is receiving a Doctorate of Philosophy in Chemistry. Hector is from Mexico City, Mexico. Now would all the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy please rise. Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hargrave, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is my pleasure to present these degree candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
Thank you, Dean. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon each of you the doctoral degree which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, and please be seated.
The Doctor of Philosophy is the highest degree awarded in the Academy of Universities. Part of the tradition associated with the awarding of this degree is a special ceremony involving the presentation of a doctoral hood. Would the major professors of the doctoral candidates please escort your graduate to the stage to be hooded as Professor Smith calls their name. Members of the Registrar's Office will direct you to the stage.
Dr. Hector Hernandez Corzo, hooded by Dr. Joseph Ortiz. Dr. Adesola Olatunde, hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Schwartz. Dr. Jonathan Lortie, hooded by Dr. Richard Chapman. Dr. Xiaohan Zhang, hooded by Dr. Robert Jackson. Dr. Catherine Mincy, hooded by Dr. Robert Boyd. Dr. Erica Kashishian, hooded by Dr. Aaron Rashat. Dr. Charles Thurlow, hooded by Dr. Mark Lyons. Dr. Micah Fern, hooded by Dr. Armstrong. Dr. Lauren Kirby, hooded by Dr. Jennifer Robinson. Dr. Ali Kashku, hooded by Dr. Andres Carano. Dr. Ian Ciro, hooded by Dr. Tracy Whitty. Dr. Michael Langley, hooded by Dr. Justin Marshall. Dr. Pijing Wang, hooded by Dr. Yu Wang. Dr. Hui Dai, hooded by Dr. Hanley. Dr. Xu Fang, hooded by Dr. Hanley. Dr. Alan Hanley, hooded by Dr. Hanley. Dr. Jiwang Ge, hooded by Dr. Jeffrey Hill. Dr. Ryan Weaver, hooded by Dr. Hill. Dr. Prashi Sangma, hooded by Dr. Henry Baker. Dr. Mohammed Masumi, hooded by Dr. Thompson and Dr. Shamsay. Dr. Yalin Liu, hooded by Dr. Anton Schindler. Dr. Lucia Lazarowski, hooded by Dr. Jeffrey Katz. Dr. Amber Holmes, hooded by Dr. Charles Linder. Dr. Henjin San, hooded by Dr. Lindner. Dr. Rashidi Salako, hooded by Dr. Lindner. Dr. Francisco Santillan, hooded by Dr. Lindner. Dr. Christopher Bishop, hooded by Dr. Charles Israel. Dr. Mohammed Yazdi, hooded by Dr. Fadel Magahed. Dr. Zara Sadeghi Maman, hooded by Dr. Megahead. Dr. Philip Cross, hooded by Dr. Sushil Alakari. Dr. Averill Gatton, hooded by Dr. Alan Landers. Dr. Shantanu Deshpande, hooded by Dr. Sushil Bhavnani. Dr. Legao, hooded by Dr. Bhavnani. Dr. Tyler Jones, hooded by Dr. Arthur Shapelka. Dr. Zhaojing Zhe, hooded by Dr. Nam Tran. Dr. Emily Hardy, hooded by Dr. Ann Gordon. Dr. Safiqlis Islam, headed by Dr. Jimmy Mills. Dr. Nguli Renee Fuanta, headed by Dr. Douglas Goodwin. Dr. Nirmal Kumar Mitra, headed by Dr. Goodwin. Dr. Kevin Faisley, headed by Dr. Chris Correa. Dr. Claire Cook, headed by Dr. Correa. Dr. Mingji Feng, headed by Dr. Xiuwen Mao. Dr. Hui Wang, headed by Dr. Mao. Dr. Ibo Liu, headed by Dr. Mao.
Please join me in congratulating these new doctoral graduates. Now, would all the candidates for master's degrees please rise? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hargrave, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is my pleasure to present these master's candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon each of you the master's degree which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, and please be seated. Graduates will come forward as Professor Smith calls your name. Members of the Registrar's Office will direct you to the stage.
Kalen Cardinal. Yeshan Nam. Palki Aurora. Shriti Deshpande. Kritika Mohatra. Joseph Broderick. Yiming Ching. Yang Zhao. Ruze Huang. Christopher Atchison. Kayla Reed. Michael Henry. Brady Holte. John Vaughn. Shane Williams. Xiao Xuan Li. Samrat Alabadi. Matthew Holderfield. Kibum Kim. Yong Hoon Jong. Daniel Lowe. Jordan Graves. Yashiko. Mitchell Fisher II. Cody Kernut. Anuj Gupta. Connor Feemster. Mary Geyer. Abhinav Saxena. Dipanjan Brahma. Anthony O'Day. Mayawa Hakisoya. Michael Seaman. Bai Hombo. Maria Celeste Iglesias. Prutha Joshi. Jalil Jamili. Yasmin Eldia. Stephen Geiger. Aaron Vance. Andrew Cookston. Akita Ganta. Muze Lee. Yang Ren. Oning Liang. Zhao Yuhu. Malun Zhang. Shelby Zakeli. Andrea Westfall. Chase Rushton. Prashna Hiraya. Najam Usaki, Ryan Logan, Catherine Bobo, Jonathan Heath Barton, Mason Handy, Cantina McCall, Ryan Bowen, William Vance, MD Hope, Dan Shiu, Juyan Lee, Saurabh Gupta, Jinghyun Zhu,
Please congratulate these master's graduates. We now come to the conferring of the undergraduate degrees. Mr. President, the deans of the colleges and schools will come forward and present the candidates who have been approved by the faculty and recommended for the appropriate undergraduate degrees. The candidates of each college or school will stand when presented and then be seated. Dean Vinnie Nathan, College of Architecture, Design, and Construction.
Would Peter Carl Sullivan please stand? On behalf of the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Peter Sullivan, who is receiving a degree in building science. Peter is from Montevallo, Alabama. Would all degree candidates from the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction please rise? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hardgrave, on behalf of the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, it is my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
Please be seated. Dean Christopher Roberts, Samuel Ginn College of Engineering.
Would Thomas Walter Gentry please stand? On behalf of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Thomas Gentry, who is receiving a degree in mechanical engineering. Thomas is from Phoenix City, Alabama. Would all degree candidates from the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering please stand? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hardgrave, on behalf of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering, it is my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
Please be seated. Dean Janaki Olivatapati, School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences.
Would Atom Dine Patterson please stand? On behalf of the School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Autumn Patterson, who is receiving a degree in wildlife ecology and management. Atom is from Solocombe, Alabama. Would all degree candidates from the School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences please rise? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hartgrave, on behalf of the School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, it is my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
Please be seated. Associate Dean Charles Israel, College of Liberal Arts.
Would Sage Dunn please stand? On behalf of the College of Liberal Arts, I'd like to introduce our student marshal, Sage Dunn, who is receiving degrees in English Literature and Mathematics. Sage is from Gulf Breeze, Florida. Now would all degree candidates from the College of Liberal Arts please rise? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hargrave, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts, it is my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
Please be seated. Dean Nicholas Giordano, College of Sciences and Mathematics.
Would Natasha Amy Lloyd please stand? On behalf of the College of Sciences and Mathematics, it is my pleasure to introduce our student marshal, Natasha Amy Lloyd, who's receiving a degree in organismal biology and conservation. Natasha is from Kaiapoi, New Zealand. There you go. Would all degree candidates from the College of Sciences and Mathematics please rise? Trustee Riggins, President Leith, and Provost Hartgrave, on behalf of the College of Sciences and Mathematics, it's my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
Will all the candidates for bachelor's degree please stand? By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon each of you bachelor's degree in which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, and please be seated. Graduates, you will now come forward by your college or school, be introduced by Professor Smith as he calls your name. Members of the registrar's office will direct you to the stage. And audience, please hold your applause till all the names have been called. Thank you.
The College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, Dean Vinnie Nathan. Kimberly Hooper. Jake Challingsworth. Nidhi Patel. Michaela Gibson. Taylor Jones. Benjamin Lahat. Jijun Wang. Judson Hurst. Megan Hurst. Ronald Hussey Jr. Barry Hanners. Forrest Carter Parkey. Mitchell Koch. Connor Andrew. Houston Franklin Lee. William Jackson Fight. Corey Pledge. Lindsay Souders. Ashley Wiley. Stephen Cumming. Noah Dobash. Benjamin Wright. Homer Roberts III. Dean Brown. Peter Sullivan. Jason McKay. James Bolton. Daniel Graveman. Connor Wilson. Russell Lowry III. Matthew Barnett. Brady Ray. Tanner Mayfield. Hannah Rediford. Colby Brashear. Scott Andrews. Andrew McCrory. John Shreve. James Andrews III. Robert Byrne. Brandon Pinsence. David Dixon III. Brett Silverman. Ashley Johnson. The College of Engineering, Dean Christopher Roberts. Charles Hilton. Lucy Patterson. Bren Watley. Andrew Jennings. Juan Alejandro Ortiz. Skylar Penton. Gilliard Gardner. Weston Banks. Evan Border. Allie Elizabeth Chapness. Jacob Ward. Brendan Schroeder. Joshua Wood. Russell McCracken. Joseph Smith. Brandon Stenay. Evan Knight. Second Lieutenant William Carter V. Ensign Brandon Wynn. Jeffrey Stallings Jr. Taylor Austin. Dakota Miller. Ransom Creech. Junjiang Wu. Cody Beck. Andrew Tomanak. Thomas Gentry. Aaron Knighton. Tyler Davis. Jordan Morse. Daniel Green. Jason Steinbaum. Andrew Burnside. Carl Boyette. Brady Dukes. Brock Hester. Russell Hatley. Chase Lewis. Christopher Trappier. Lucas Thrash. Brady Edwards. Jacob Walton. Macon Potter, Neil Smith, Caleb Autry, David Dixon, Francis Spahn, Luke Westerfield, Kayla Ware, Beverly Caesar, John Patterson, Ensign Lucius Campbell Jr., Ensign Troy Chestnut, Matthew Seals, Second Lieutenant Shaquem Pinedo, Patrick Hammond, Logan Clark, Kevin Byers, Amy Strong, Ryan Gradle, Kiana Lambambar, Wallace Morris, Scotty Marsh, Matthew Wise, Clinton Walker, Stephen Swift, Dylan Olson, Zachary Thrasher, Sean Chen, Robert Patterson, Jonathan Rydell, the School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, Dean Janaki Alavatapati, Austin Justice, Zachary Singh, the College of Liberal Arts, Associate Dean Charles Israel, Jordan Harris, Nigeria Johnson, Brianna Barris, Ariel Cochran, Tanner Diamond, Malcolm Twyman, Chuzing Chen, Nathaniel Rankin, Mallory Bellew, Brandon Torres, Lincoln Burns, Daniel Koger, Zachary Dorfman, Zachary Dean, Brooke Kirkpatrick, Haley Kozik, Sarah Ross Adams, Ashley Nicole Anderson, Annie Kemp, Hanley Hinkle, Kira Chambly, Addison Fulmer, Savannah Dunn, Brantley Hawk, Chantal Alford, Jacquard Logan, Haley Wiley. Megan Cunningham. Lindsay Young. Samantha Hightower. Allison Galley. Maya Cunningham. Delaney Bloom. Nicole Parente. Zara Ali. Lindsay Molyneux. Mary Bazart. Anna Catherine Strong. Carrie Kelly. Morgan Shula. Samantha Martin. Clara Francis McClure. Valerie Johnson. Harrison Robertson. Carly Shirey. Leah Cameron Nipper. Mallory Scherzinger. Kendall Barton. Carmen Bolivar. Robert Hall. Thomas Corbin. James Martin IV. Drew Fang. Kelsey Fatton. Lauren Rossman. Brooke Reeves. Samantha Jackson. Brian Keith Nichols Jr. Emery Shaw. Aaron Robertson. Jeffrey Sanford. Ansley Carter. Anna Riley. Taylor Quillen. Caitlin Evans. Austin Thompson. Savannah Entrican. John Kirby. Michael A. Lawrence. Elizabeth Witt. Eleonora Sapp. Elizabeth Hornady. Emily Lambert. Megan Sullivan. Jesse Altman. Ethan Pylant. Cami Muscat. Ashton Elsie. Leslie Hill. Khalil Johnson. Christopher Bertoni. Ann DeSantis. Madeline Petit. Jakayla Hand. Caroline Benson. Alexander Wilkerson. Savannah Duckworth. Jordan Sweat. John Seymour Jr. Otavia Singleton. Alicia White. Joshua Davis. Stephen Good. Joseph Brannon. Patrick Wood. Caroline Rothschild. Caitlin Stevenson. Sarah Bohan. Savannah Adams. Mary Woody Crump. Jalen Harris. Richard McBride. Deshaun Murray. Taylor Thompson. Timothy McGuffin. Riley Davis. Abby Johnson. The College of Sciences and Mathematics, Dean Nicholas Giordano. Joshua Littlefield. Jordan Nafalabi. Lauren Green. Lyric Pete. Hannah Vanderheiden. Jackie Sains. Dustin Bowers. Grant Markham. Michael Barrett. Justin Nail. Caroline King. Heather Susanna Webster. Keenan Sweeney. Natasha Lloyd. Henry Sims. Jong Hyun Jo. Caroline Kopp. Daniel Hindman. Madeline Bergeron. Morgan Bradshaw. Hannah Marin. Second Lieutenant Heath Lentz. Tyrone Brown Jr. Rachel Weber. James Manor Jr. Caroline Baddock. Alicia White.
Graduates, congratulations, you're now members of the Auburn alumni family. Gretchen Van Valkenburg, the Vice President of Alumni Affairs and Executive Director of the Auburn Alumni Association, is here to welcome you to this exceptional group. Sure, please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Congratulations and War Eagle. Woo! Now that you've completed your academic requirements and earned your Auburn University degree, you join a group of alumni who, like you, believe in work, hard work, honesty and truthfulness, and a spirit that is not afraid. Auburn University alumni have used their degrees to serve others, better their communities, and succeed in ways they may never have imagined when they wore their cap and gown. I have no doubt that each of you will do the same. You became a member of the Auburn family when you made the decision to attend Auburn University. You made friends that will last a lifetime. You greeted strangers on heyday. You rolled Timber's Corner after those big wins. You studied, you played, and you belonged. Would all Auburn alumni in the audience today please stand so that we can recognize you? That includes you guys. Everybody. Thank you. You may be seated. Today, it is my honor to welcome you as the newest members of the Auburn Alumni Association. You have been greeted by one of our Auburn Alumni Association board members, Susan Black, and other volunteers today provided an Auburn Alumni Association pin to you. Next month, please on the lookout in the mail for your Auburn Alumni Association decal. As you head out into the world, please remember that your Auburn Alumni Association is here to assist you staying in touch with Auburn University and to one another. Whether you stay here in the loveliest village or you travel across the continent, there are plenty of ways to stay close to Auburn University. I encourage you to connect to the vast Auburn Alumni Network. Please download the Auburn Alumni Directory app. Find a local Auburn club or affiliate group. Please stay in touch with your schools and colleges. And once you're established, let us know what you're doing. We have a fabulous young alumni blog, and we want to brag on you. You can visit our website to learn a little bit more about the programs and services that are offered to you. And you can also view the Auburn Magazine online. I'd encourage you to do that. Welcome again to your Auburn Alumni Association. I am so glad to be able to share this special day with you. It is my sincere hope that you will always love Auburn and stay in touch. Congratulations, and War Eagle!
As we conclude our ceremony, please join me in expressing our appreciation to the graduation committee and everyone who worked so hard to make this commencement ceremony a success. And now I want to thank the graduates. I want to thank them for choosing Auburn. It's been our pleasure to serve you as educators, mentors, and friends. You may now turn your tassels to the left. Graduates, all of us here are very proud of you and we're inspired by you. The degree you received will aid in your future endeavors, both professional and personal. I can't wait to see how you're going to transform our world. May you experience a truly successful life. Congratulations, and War Eagle. We will conclude our ceremony with the singing of the Alma Mater, led by Dr. Hoke. Please stand and remain standing until the platform party, faculty, and new doctors have recessed from the arena. Students, you may drop off your cap and gown as you exit to the right. Please rise.